You know what I'm starting to get worried about? That we're having so many of these killings that we're starting to lose track of who. Who was it this week? It's almost like they're desensitizing us to seeing a dead black man in the street at the hands of police. And unarmed, might I add. And then they show the death of the person the first day on the news. And then the next day when we react and we riot, that's all the coverage we see. Like white folks don't riot when their favorite sports team wins. Like white college kids don't riot when their favorite sports teams lose. But when they do it, it's just them blowing off steam. When we do it, we're savages. We're thugs. And that right there, my friends, is the difference in why we have this Black Lives Matter movement. It's all about the perception of us, and that has to change. Automatically assuming a black person is a thug while giving the benefit of the doubts to everybody else. It's just really sad to have to come to the painful realization that so many people in our country who walk amongst us, work with us, write us on social media, rub elbows with us at the grocery store, have such a negative opinion of minorities. Yes, we knew racism was here and it's been around for a long time, but you kind of start getting comfortable and thinking, since we've made so many strides, that it's not as bad as it is. But then in this election, something has been happening where people are just feeling so comfortable and so excited and so energized to call us niggers. To drive an SUV through a group of peacefully protesting Black Lives Matters protesters and not care. To say young teenagers deserve what they got when their lives are cut short. It's so sad. The problem is a basic disrespect for anything that is different than you. The black, the brown, the different religions are to be respected. There's beauty in differences. It shouldn't be fear. And why? You have the power, yet you're always scared for your life. And don't get me wrong, I hope I don't have to explain this, but we know it's not all. But one is enough when it's your family and it affects you, right? I just want us to get to a place where we don't just look at someone and just deem them less than us because they're darker than us or because they pray differently. Because this country is really good at pretending to be the best thing ever, but then not making good on that promise to its darker complected citizens. Okay, I have to address one more thing before I go. But don't get it twisted. When we speak on Black Lives Matter and, equality, don't get scared. It is in no way, shape, or form a hate group. It's actually a group about love and inclusion and us wanting to be a part of the American dream as well. And if we already were, there would be no need for us to say Black Lives Matter too, because we'd already be respected and treated fairly. So when you respond to, well, all lives matter, it's very disrespectful because you're discounting what we're complaining about. Duh, all lives matter. And with that being said, black lives should be one of those lives that matter and not just discounted and disrespected. So don't fear it. Try to understand it. And before they would use the excuse that, well, if you don't do anything wrong and if you just listen to the police officers, you won't get shot. Well, I think we can kind of rest that excuse because that is complete bullshit. And just imagine how many of our brothers and sisters were gunned down, were killed, were set up, drugs and guns and evidence placed on their dead bodies before we had the fantastic invention of the cell phone camera. These are the cases that we get to see. Just think of the ones that are happening in the backwoods all throughout this country that don't get videotaped. But it doesn't matter Because even with the videotape and the evidence, there will be those that will say, well, those officers were in danger. In danger of what? Is a book gonna kill you? A wallet? Some Skittles? Yeah, that's mad dangerous. Fuck out of here with the excuses. You guys are exterminating us